Established in 1972, IIMB began with a unique vision which was to take formal management to the undermanaged sectors of the economy. Consistent with the dominant political and economic philosophies of those times, the institute in Bangalore was initially set up to cater to the needs of public sector enterprises.
Over a period of time, IIMB moved away from public sector orientation, more towards general management, and then came back into looking at public policy. So it's been a full circle where the institute has been constantly dynamic about responding to the given ecological environment and economic environment.
In 1998, the Government of India selected IIMB to set up the Centre for Public Policy.
The 1990s saw big changes both globally and in our own country around the meaning of what is public and also around the meaning of development. And these changes had a great impact on the directions that the Centre for Public Policy took from the beginning.
On 10th July 2000, the Centre for Public Policy was officially established. This underlined that IIMB did not lose sight of the importance of the public sector. 10 years after liberalization, IIMB got the opportunity to accommodate its founding vision in a more appropriate setting.
So from the beginning, we were very interested in issues of health, in issues of education, in questions of gender equality, in questions of socio-economic inequality by and large in the country and in the work that the Centre for Public Policy, its teaching programs and its research programs would have to engage in.
The Centre for Public Policy has been a pioneering experiment in building public policy research, education and training. In the last 25 years of its existence, the Centre has been able to support public policy as a separate discipline in the academic setting in the country.
It happened because at that very time, the Government of India, in association with the UNDP, had been doing a lot of work on how to improve capacity building in government administration. And the idea of having a Centre for Public Policy and also to have an India-based degree-giving, long-duration training program for the senior civil service was seen as something really necessary. And so because of that, the Government of India and the UNDP actually put up a lot of funds to enable it to happen. And it was just not awarded to us immediately. There was a very rigorous competition, and we were very happy to be able to win this competition.
A lot of these training programs which are targeted towards government officers, including Indian Administrative Service, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Forest Service, Income Tax. We were able to attract those programs into the institute because of this sectoral orientation which started in the beginning.
Thus, the postgraduate program in Public Policy and Management, or PGPPM, was officially launched on 7th June 2002.
So when we began the PGPPM program in 2000, the institute was just transitioning from a mode of doing a regular MBA to a public policy program, and this was very new. There were a lot of challenges. For one, the bureaucrats were really not used to sitting in the classroom and taking orders from faculty. Second, one of the funny things we realized was that you would give a very detailed case study, and they were so used to reading the first and the last para of files, they would just read the first and the last para and then give the analysis. So there was a lot of learning.
Third conference of CPP is when I joined the conference, and it took a different turn itself. I mean, before that we had like 2 days conference, but we made it like a 3 day. But we had about that time itself like 200 plus papers.
So that was a very successful conference we started, and that almost set the format for the subsequent conferences. And I would say now I understand we are doing the 20th conference and we are almost continuing the trajectory, and it has been improving its quality year by year and it's doing great.
The Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship Program, which was piloted at IIM Bangalore, and then based on the IIM Bangalore pilot at the Center for Public Policy, it was scaled up for 8 other IIMs to run this. So going from the pilot batch to the national rollout, the IIMB or the Center for Public Policy driven model was something that went from impacting 70 districts in the pilot to effectively 670 districts in the national rollout, affecting every state in India.
Almost immediately after joining CPP, I landed a fairly big project, a research project that was funded by the Dutch government at that time under the MDG, the Goal for Gender Equality. This was a cross-country collaboration, Karnataka in India, Ghana and Ecuador, and it really pioneered a household survey methodology in collecting individual asset and wealth data. So to think about inequality within the household and how to get at that information. I think it was a fairly unique study that had important policy contributions. CPP is an exciting place to be because it allows you the ability to think outside the box, and it also gives you an opportunity to meet with people.
The center also has its lasting contribution in terms of designing appropriate courses for practice of public policy, which has helped applying new ideas in the governance arena. Our effort continues through these activities to help shape effective public policy design and implementation in the country.
So what is the impact of CPP? Clearly, extremely high. We can see the impact of our students across the policy area in the Indian government, the central government as well as the state governments. Many have gone on to lead their departments, significantly influence policy or rewrite policy for the departments. More than that, I think the impact of CPP through the multiple programs we did many executive education programs. For example, we did phase 5 for the Indian Forest Service, phase 4 for the Indian Administrative Service, for the Indian Police Service and so on. So many of these programs have helped in building up the capacity of bureaucracy.
I never wanted to go abroad to study public policy because it was my firm opinion that public policy should be studied in the Indian context. I was in the first batch of this public policy program of IIM, and I found it extremely useful to me in my career.
Younger faculty and also the secondary members should think about what will be the next orbit of Center for Public Policy, which direction we want to take to and how it should be, what will be the nature of public policy program that we want to do, how do we engage with public, how do we engage with government, and how do we make ourselves continue to be relevant to the government.
So in a sense, this is a very exciting time. We have 25 years behind us, and hopefully another 25 years ahead of us, and maybe more in terms of how this public policy area is going to grow. There are many kinds of conversations we are doing, and I welcome you all to participate in this lovely journey.
The Center for Public Policy is supported by a small but a very strong team that has always been instrumental in managing and delivering the functions and operations. The continued support from the team has been the backbone of the center to excel across all facets.